Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to The Truthy. Charlie Munger, a longtime resident of Pasadena, California, is perhaps best known as the vice chairman of the world's greatest compound interest machine, Berkshire Hathaway Inc. In today's video, we are going to take a deep look into Charlie Munger's portfolio. Charlie Munger, Charles Thomas Munger, born January 1st, 1924, is an American billionaire investor, businessman, former real estate attorney, architectural designer, and a philanthropist. He is vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, the conglomerate controlled by Warren Buffett. Buffett has described Munger as his partner. Charlie Munger is an amazing investor and Warren Buffett's partner at Berkshire Hathaway. He recently gave an interview to Caltech alumni that has a lot to teach us about investing. There were many insights for investors in that interview, but I want to focus on one segment where a viewer asked Charlie, number 1, some people are born to be investors. Charlie is pointing out that not everything can be learned in investing. Yes, you can read all the great investing books out there, and you should. You can study the prior great investors, and you should. However, that is necessary but not sufficient. You also need certain qualities that some people have and others just don't. Number 2. Temperament. What are these qualities? Well, it's best described as temperament. What does that mean? Imagine a scenario where everything is going wrong for you as an investor. The stock market is marking your investments way down. Your peers disagree with you. Your clients are starting to doubt you. You haven't had a good year in the market in some time. Can you still stick to your well-reasoned investment process, or will you fall apart and give in to the pain and start to deviate in order to try to catch up sooner rather than later? Number 3. Patience. It seems so simple. Just do nothing when there is nothing worth doing. And yet, it seems so elusive to most investors. They convince themselves or are convinced by others that if only they were smart enough, work hard enough, that there is always something intelligent to do. So they slide down the slippery slope of good enough. Each compromise seems minor, or not a compromise at all, but eventually, they are well downhill from the commanding heights of investing discipline that they had aspired to. Number 4. Aggression. Despite all their activity, when patience is required, when it is actually time to act, most investors are not active enough. I remember Peter Lynch coming in to give a talk to Fidelity portfolio managers and analysts early in my career, circa 20 years ago. He told the audience that when they find a great idea, they should triple, quadruple weigh it, not just have a small overweight position versus their benchmark. There was silence. Nobody disagreed with the legendary investor. And yet when the portfolio managers went back to their offices the next day, I didn't observe anyone change their approach or their portfolios, which typically contain hundreds of small, individually insignificant investments. Number 5. Self-awareness about the edge of your own competence. Knowing the edge of your circle of competence is crucial as an investor. If you are not sure if something is within it, the answer is simple: it's not. The penalty for waiting in investing is low, as long as you are aggressively pursuing the few great investment opportunities that you encounter. And yet so many to try to answer hard questions that as an investor they should be leaving in the too tough pile and moving on. That is not an overconfidence bias in action. I do not know what that is. Charlie Munger's portfolio at Daily Journal. Charlie Munger trades portfolio. Warren Buffett trades portfolio. Trusted partner at Berkshire Hathaway and an endless well of investing wisdom. Also manages a small portfolio and sits on the board of a small company called Daily Journal Corp. The company publishes a daily paper and a monthly booklet and provides online resources for attorneys and legal professionals in California and Arizona for an annual fee. Munger is known for influencing his friend Buffett away from investing in degenerating cigar butt companies and toward long-term investments in high-quality companies. In 2009, he began investing some of the Daily Journal's funds into common stocks of companies hard hit by the financial crisis. In the few years since, the stocks had advanced and Daily Journal's stock price has almost quadrupled. Many signs indicate Daily Journal itself is a high-quality company. In the past 10 years, its book value per share flourished at 34.3% rate, and in the past 5 years at a 29% rate. As for the latest quarterly filing, his Daily Journal portfolio contains just 4 stocks, 95.8% weighted in the financial sector and valued at $190 million. The stocks at POSCO, US Bancorp, Bank of America Corp, and Wells Fargo & Co. Wells Fargo, the largest holding of Munger. Wells Fargo is also the largest holding of Berkshire Hathaway, representing 60.8% of the portfolio. With 1,591,800 shares in the past 5 years, Wells Fargo stock has gained approximately 140% and trades around $45.97 a share on Tuesday. Wells Fargo & Co. has a market cap of $242.15 billion. Its shares were traded with a PE ratio of 12.0 and PS ratio of 2.90. The dividend yield of Wells Fargo & Co. stocks is 2.60%. Wells Fargo & Co. had an annual average earnings growth of 3.70% over the past 10 years. Bank of America Corp. Munger also holds 2.3 million shares of Bank of America Corp., accounting to 30.2% of the portfolio. Bank of America's share price over the past 5 years has surged by about 175% to trade around $16.88 on Tuesday. Bank of America Corporation, through its banking and various non-banking subsidiaries throughout the U.S. and in selected international markets, provides a diversified range of banking and non-banking financial services and products through 5 business segments: deposits, card services, consumer real estate services, global commercial banking, global banking and markets, global wealth and investment management. Bank of America Corporation has a market cap of $180.04 billion. Its shares were traded with a PE ratio of 25.60 and PS ratio of 2.20. The dividend yield of Bank of America Corporation stocks is 0.20%. U.S. Bancorp. Munger holds 140,000 shares of U.S. Bancorp, which represents 4.8% of the Daily Journal portfolio. The company is also the 8th largest portfolio position for Berkshire Hathaway. In 5 years, U.S. Bancorp's price appreciated 149% to Monday's $40.29 per share. U.S. Bancorp was incorporated in Delaware in 1929. It is a multi-state financial services holding company headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota. U.S. Bancorp has a market cap of $73.58 billion. Its shares were traded with a PE ratio of 13.70 and PS ratio of 3.80. The dividend yield of U.S. Bancorp stocks is 2.20%. U.S. Bancorp had an annual average earnings growth of 1.20% over the past 10 years. Costco, the only non-financial and non-U.S. stock in the Daily Journal portfolio, Munger owns 64,600 shares of Costco, with 4.2% of the portfolio. Over the past 5 years, Costco stock lost 9%, trading around $68.01 per share on Tuesday, near a 5-year low. Korea-based Costco is a steel company with a $21.16 billion market cap. It has experienced 11.6% annual 5-year EBITDA growth and 15.2% 5-year revenue growth. Its PB has fallen to a 10-year low at 0.53 and PS ratio to near a 2-year low at 0.36. Its PE is 14.2 and it carries a dividend yield of 2.5%. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I am sure that you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the